I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for the release for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice.
We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk.
A massive update in Lil Durk's case was announced today. It reads, "Good news for rapper Lil Durk. The prosecutors want to use several pages of new evidence against him, which is bad. However, this will result in his trial being delayed, making a bond release or house arrest agreement trial very likely. But to understand his release date, it's important to understand his new charges. It's announced feds believe LOL Durk was also behind the attempted Awando Rondo in 2021 at a gas station in Georgia. In the evidence file shared in the courtroom today, it reads, surveillance footage and witness testimony related to the attempt at a Bowman, aka Awando, in Georgia. Meaning, they have somebody snitching against Lil Durk for going against Quando at a gas station. It also says, Durk's line raps, they're on my page like Slide for Vaughn. I know they're trolling me. In a new Lil Durk podcast, he remarked saying, for some reason, I just don't see them comments no more. Where they aren't using lyrics against Lil Durk, but they are using the date of the song's release to line up with the gas station hit on Quando to add more charges. While doing so, they're also trying to get Diddy on their side to go against Durk. But Diddy is trying to remove himself from the case altogether, trying to tell prosecutors, all the evidence you have on Durk doesn't relate to me. And that's what D did. He's basically saying, all this evidence y'all got against Durk got nothing to do with me. Why you got me charged with Durk? And that doesn't mean he's going against Durk. That just means he wants his case severed. And I'm telling you, if it's severed, it helps Durk, because one of the main connective tissue to this conspiracy is saying that Durk told D saying, I ain't get told to hire nobody, and I ain't hiring nobody. Who you talking about? Why would I hire someone? That's his thing. However, the second piece of evidence comes from the FI message group chat, making it very obvious who the snitch is. But it reads, Lil Durk's facing allegation from federal prosecutors that he put hits on O-Black members for not retaliating for King Von. Prosecutors plan to introduce testimony from a witness who claims Durk gave the orders, meaning LOL Durk wanted O-Black members dealt with that didn't want to go on road in Slide for Vaughn. In the evidence file, it reads, Defendant Durk Banks feuds with an O-Black member named Mana Duke over Banks's belief that O-Black members were not properly retaliating for Bennett's passing, aka King Von. Whack 100 would react, revealing the truth of all these snitches going against Durk to life by basically saying he's guilty of for hire, and the only thing that yes, some of these things look suspect. Why you go there? Why are these people going there? Why you send this message? But nothing, there's no message that they got that says where Durk says y'all that yet. Nothing says that. You missing a point. They got a witness already cooperating on that. Ben had one. We just ain't seen what they said. It's 3, one of the cooperating. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's what so you don't need too much more than that. One of is cooperating. Then in the paperwork, you got the conversation. They said they had it in and out. The other 2 was figuring out how they getting paid. When the prosecutors were done sharing the new evidence, it was Durk's lawyers' turn, where they would then submit their applications for Durk's release. This resulted in news of words from Durk's father have Durk being released on a bond. With this being his 3rd attempt, his lawyer made an offer so great the judge can't refuse it. I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son at least for the 3rd time. This time, it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence and, he gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what's his position as far as the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue. Family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you, and inshallah, God willing, just be victorious for us that we have a good rule in our favor. Like the video if you want Durk released from jail because the prosecutors even dropped evidence against Durk, which helps him in the long run. The news wrote, "Today's Lil Durk's court hearing had prosecutors telling the judge they are willingly throwing away evidence against him while reading it out loud during his court hearing in front of everyone. I wonder how this will affect the rest of his bond hearing with the prosecutors standing up to the judge announcing they want to drop evidence and, quote, Durk's rap lyrics told me they got an Addy go, got location, go look on the news, see your son screaming no." While also sharing with the judge the newsarando screaming no. Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say a Savannah rapper a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath. Applause. This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight. Mind you, them dropping the evidence is very big to Lil Durk. But the way they did it, knowing Durk submitted an application for bond, meaning the judge is already thinking about it, then telling the judge, here's the evidence we have, but we don't want to use it no more, that will be in the back of the judge's mind come the final decision, which even angered Lil Durk's lawyer. He did an interview after the court hearing calling the charges a joke, as the feds only had lyric-based evidence, but now they're not even using it. The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this. With so much happening at the end of the court day, the judge announced he needs a few days to decide. So before he made his final decision, the feds, they were able to get a new snitch to go against Lil Durk, this one being a high-ranking member of F named Vonnie. In court, his file was updated showing he's no longer even in the Bureau of Prisons, meaning that he has been released from jail, likely on a house arrest. Vonnie even got his hands on a cell phone once being released. He texted somebody close to him who then flipped on him, leaking everything. Vonnie texted this person, "I'm trying to plea out on a 32, which is the base for M for hire. Max is 43 to life. I'd get -2 points for a plea, -1 point for early plea, -2 points for no background. So I'll have 27 points, which is 5 to 7 years. It's better than that. I can't go to trial. I might get an elbow, and I don't want them to do me like they did them other boys." When Vonnie says he doesn't want to get got like them other boys, he's referring to what happened to F Jam, but I'll explain that a little later. But this is where something very strange occurred. Later on this night, Otia Vonnie's own father would now snitch on his own son, revealing Vonnie played a major role in the passing of King Von. And even Durk knew about it. "I'ma give you this. It's a back door, and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you." As Durk asked Vonnie, "Is it open?" Vonnie told him, "It's off the hinges." Wait. Are you talking about like King Von? Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, "Was it open?" This is what he asked him, "Was it open?" It was the exact words, "Was it open?" He told him, "It's off the hinges." Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right. You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that, or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text message from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before, This resulted in DJ Academics asking why Durk would want King Von gone. He had mentioned there's a police file proving that King Von was facing a court case with Lil Durk, which is true. They committed a crime together at the varsity. However, when King Von passed, they weren't able to take the case to trial, so it ended in a private settlement, meaning there's a high chance Durk made a private deal with the feds, putting the crime on King Von because he already passed. Why would Durk want Von? Let me do this.